Oh boy. What's going on, guys, girls? Rob here, and um, my History Maker golf is going to be put to the side. I'll put it on the sidelines for uh, maybe even a month until we play the Sunday afternoon or Sunday final groups at Augusta. I've already got those together, and I think we'll probably hold off maybe a month. Still awful early right now, and mid-March probably would be a great time to finish that. So I think that's when we're going to do that. So until that time, I got to fill it in with something. So do I want to? I want to have it based on a pitcher. Okay. I just don't know whether I want it out of the American League or the National League. Okay. Blake Snell was the Cy Young Award winner in 2018 for the American League Rays. And Jacob deGrom was a Cy Young Award winner for the National League Mets. Which one do we want to see replayed? Can Blake Snell win 21 games just like he did in 2018? He carried a 189 earned run average, and he's never come close to that before or after. Jacob deGrom, on the other hand, has had a steady career, and he only went 10-9. Can he win more than 10 ball games? And can he keep a 1.70 ERA? In the case of the earned run averages, I don't think either one of them is going to keep them. And I definitely think if we give deGrom, all the chances, and especially if it's tie ball games, leave him in. 10 wins shouldn't be a problem. Blake Snell, 21 wins. I don't know if he can do it or not. So you guys decide. Do we want to do a replay? Blake Snell, 2018, all of his starts. Jacob deGrom, 2018, all of his starts. That's going to be something I'm going to start probably tomorrow. And may start it as early as no later than Monday. But once I get the NPNG Plus out, I can play sometimes 2 or 3 of those games in one day. What's up, Atma Brian? I'm going to get my NPNG Plus 2018 season back out. The one that I did my replay of the Red Sox. And I just want people to decide whether they want to see Blake Snell, the AL Cy Young Award winner, in all of his starts, or Jacob deGrom, that National League Cy Young Award winner, in all of his starts, and see what type of earned run average they get and the win-loss record. Derek Dodgers Royals fan, Philip Reynolds, what's up? You guys tell me what you would rather see. I know, I've got all the NPNG teams and virtually every player that played during the whole season. So would you rather see the American League Cy Young Award winner, Snell, all the way through his season? He'd be playing the Yankees a lot, the Red Sox a lot, the Blue Jays a lot, the Orioles a lot. Or Jacob deGrom. He'd be playing my Phillies a lot. He'd be playing the Nats a lot, the Braves a lot. And was that the only 4 teams? That's one more somewhere. Yeah. Phillips National League guy, so he likes deGrom. I'm kind of siding with the DeGrom deal. He went 10-9. I mean, my lord, if I replayed all of his games, couldn't he win 10 games? Couldn't he win? I mean, he went 10-9 and won the Cy Young Award. Now, I don't think either one of these guys are going to keep their earned run average on an NPNG plus game. 170 and 189. I don't think either one of them is going to hold those numbers up. But it should be interesting. So you guys tell me what you think, whether you want to see National League DeGrom, American League Snell. Rue had a good year that year, yeah. His ERA was what, 2.3, 2.33? I think it was. DeGrom's earned run average is what killed it, 170. And I mean, he pitched what, 32 games. Jacob DeGrom, and I mean, they don't play. I mean, it's a pretty nice ballpark to knock the ball out of. And you think about it another way too. DeGrom goes to Philadelphia. He goes to Atlanta. And I mean, those two places are launching pads. I mean, you can knock the crap out of the ball. 2018. Yeah. Snell and DeGrom. Brian likes he likes Snell. Okay. Obviously we'd be playing with the DH. I would set up all the teams the way they started, and then I'd play the benches accordingly. Derek likes Snell. How about that? I'm sort of surprised by that. I'm surprised more people don't want to see if DeGrom can lose more than, at 10-9. 10-9. Blake Snell went 21-5. There's no way in the world that team is going to go 21-5 on NPNG Plus. Blake Snell starts. No way. 189. No. I really don't believe. I don't believe there's no way he wins 20 ball games on a replay. DeGrom, on the other hand, I think he could win 15. I think he'd have a chance. It's all according to what the Mets offense wants to play. The Mets offense is pretty bad. Was in 2018. Last year they were a little bit better. But it's 2018 is what we're looking at. So I'll get them. I'm gonna put away my golf, and those of you that are waiting for Sunday afternoon activity of the Masters, we're gonna put it away for about a month, and about probably the second week of March, I'm gonna finish it up. Try to finish it up. And I'm already getting messages as to who people think is going to win out of my final 16 golfers. But I think it's going to be good. I don't think it's wrapped up at all yet. Shout out to BR Wells. Hope you got your power back, bud. They lost power today. He's in South Central Virginia. The wind's been whipping around here 30, 35 miles an hour. We got over in excess in the last 36 hours. We've gotten almost 5 inches of rain. And it hasn't rained since 2 o'clock. So overnight, the wind was whipping and the rain was falling. And thank the Lord, Dave Gardner. Only Dave could say this one. My next baseball project is a hockey project. Dave, I love it. Yeah, the whole the whole Mid Atlantic region and hockey with the baseball. We're located. Let's just say we're located here. The way the storm was going was just like this, and it was going straight north and a little bit east. But the storm was so wide that we were just engulfed in it. We were just engulfed. Hell, we got thunder and lightning yesterday during the day. It was thunder and lightning like crazy. It was 40, 42 outside. It was chilly. And then it started raining and getting warmer. It started getting warmer with the rain. And then today, it is cold out there. I'm not sure it's not under freezing right now. And with all the rain, waters and puddles and everything, they're going to be frozen tonight. And I'm just, I'm just telling my family, hunker down for the night. If we lose electric, we can deal. We can deal with one night. You know what I'm saying? But that's the main thing. Yeah, Concord. Concord's directly south of us. About 2.5 hours. Freeze warning in Charlotte tonight. Yeah, it is here too. So, yeah. I earlier I sent some golfers and some courses. It was just like this. I sent some to Philip, sent a golf course to him. So I'm just showing you roughly what I do. I always test it with a piece of paper. Then I throw my cardstock in. Then I put about 20 of these in there. I just make copies of those too. So Philip, they're on their way to you, and BR Wells, they're on their way to you. I got so many courses and so many players that it's just wild that a lot of people want to have it. So I definitely want to get it out to you. I don't know if anybody saw this the other day or not. My elbow. Yeah, that's actually my elbow right here. And they had to put this is all what do you call it? It's not real, whatever it is. It's fabricated or prefab elbow or whatever. You can tell when you look at it, it's more pointed. It's more of a pointy elbow than this one is. Yeah. So I didn't know if all of you guys had seen that before or not. I just found it the other day, and I was like, I took it down and showed it to my mom and dad. But they probably had seen it before. So I'm going to get a vote going. Blake Snell, Jacob deGrom right now 2-1, and Atba Bryan is voted, and so is Derek and Atba Bryan, and Philip has already voted. So you only get to vote one time. And so I got a 2-1 vote so far, and if I start doing it on Monday, then I'll just stop it right then, and I'll just pull the two teams out that I'll be playing. Chances are I'll probably try to decide on Sunday because I'm going to have to probably get some either American League teams out or National League teams, and I got them in different bags and different things there. That's always a lot of fun to try to separate the team. I got them all in bags, but it's still a heck of a load of teams in there with MPNG Plus. Almost got my wrestling out tonight. Legends of Wrestling. Almost got it out and just decided to have another. That went well though. Like the over the top rope battle royal. I may have another one of those pretty soon. And obviously I'm not going after Vince's crew, the WWE. I don't even watch them, and they're losing their asses. Now they're going to start this football up tomorrow. Hi, Brian, Derek Dodgers Royals fan, Atma Brian, Dave Gardner, and his next baseball project is going to be a hockey project. Uh, Philip Reynolds, what's going on? Um, yeah, we're trying to figure out, Brian, what would you rather see? We're going to do a replay of one of the Cy Young Award winners, all of their starts in 2018, whether it's Blake Snell, Tampa Rays, Jacob DeGrom of the Mets. You guys get to decide on that. And I'll give you the numbers right now. Blake Snell went 21-5, 189 earned run average. Jacob DeGrom went 10-9 with a 170 ERA. He pitched over 200 innings. He kept it at 170. That's throwing the ball, folks. That's throwing the ball. Blake Snell, he didn't even come close to 200 innings and still got 21 wins. So I'm not going to put a limits. Oh, you like DeGrom better. Okay. I'm not going to put an innings limit on either one of them. If they're pitching well, I'm going to let them go from game one all the way the rest of the way. I'm not going to let their ears get beat off and let their earned run average run up for no reason at all. I'm not going to do that. If they're getting beat, they're going to get yanked, and they won't be able to win. But maybe, with a little bit of offensive input, they can be saved. Okay, Mets fan. They can be saved from the loss anyway, So I'm going to do all I can, just like I'm managing their teams. But I'm not going to disrespect the other team in the process. I'm going to bring in their best players and let them do what they can to try to hit the ball against him, and whichever person it is, whichever one it is. So I just thought, I hadn't had this game out. There's a lot of you guys probably that's been in chat now for 4 or 5 months that have never seen me play that game before. If you've watched me a year ago, oh dear Lord, I'm sure you were tired of watching me play it, because I played it, 2 or 3 times a day on my channel. I never took it off my table. If I'd have took it off my table, I never would have finished it. And I played right at 180 games. 180 games of Red Sox baseball last year. So I decided, now we're not going to play. I'll play the Red Sox if I come around to, if these two teams have to play them. But I really thought it was going to be overwhelmingly Jacob DeGrom. People want to see him because there's so many. Number one, there's so many Mets, Phillies, Nats, Braves fans out there. But hey, if you're a Yankees fan, I guess you'd love to see Snell get beat. Red Sox fan, you'd like to see Snell get beat. Blue Jays fan and the Orioles fan. I think there's one out here in the world, one Orioles fan. I'm not sure. Last time I heard I thought there was one on the internet, but I'm not sure there's one at all. If you're an Orioles fan, please let me know. There's one in existence, because I hadn't seen one in a long, long time, and they're so rare. That's like spotting a Baltimore Oriole in your backyard. You see one about every 10 years. That's the same way with a Baltimore Orioles fan. You see one about every 10 years, about as often as you see those things in the trees in the fall. Cicadas. I think they're every 16 years. I know that's mean, but yeah, the poor Orioles. What are they playing for now? And I was listening. I was listening to a Phillies report, just seeing what they thought about the Phillies this year. And they immediately, the first thing they took off with this Betts thing, and the Betts trade and all that. And they immediately are talking like the Red Sox are below 500 team and all this type of stuff. And I'm still thinking, look, dudes, they're still better than most of the teams in the National League. Come on. I mean, you can lose bets He's 28 home runs, 80 RBIs. That's what he hit. He's not going to go to. He's not going to go to LA and do that. He is not going to LA. Now he can bat 300 in LA, yes, but he's not going to go out there and hit 30 home runs and knock in 80. Even with that offense, he's not going to do it. I mean, they play in a graveyard out there, and that field is huge. Once saw Brooks Robinson commit 3 errors in a game at Kansas City Municipal in the early '60s. Kansas City Municipal, that was a turf field, wasn't it? Did they play in turf or was it grass back then? Because we were discussing things the other night about the best shortstop ever. And personally, in grass field, okay. Personally, there's better shortstops now. And everybody's talking about the size of the gloves and all that. Look, these guys can run circles around these shortstops 40 years ago. They can do it. They're just so much more athletic. I mean, let's start with Ozzie Smith. Do you remember when Ozzie Smith used to come out on the field every time? He would go out and do these damn cartwheels. You didn't see other. I mean, I don't think there's probably one or two that could do that stuff back in the 30s and 40s. Now I'm not. Look, they were hard-nosed baseball players. Okay, but number one, they were playing with a rubber ball back then. These guys now are getting the ball hit to them. They're hitting the ball 100, 105, 110 miles out to the ground, wherever. And these guys are playing. I mean, and you look at the numbers. Look at the numbers. The active players are making the plays. And you can say whatever you want to. Well, the fields are manicured great. They're doing, all that. Look, if they only hit the ground one time or they don't hit the ground at all and they're flying over their head and they're jumping 8 feet high, as high as it takes to dunk a basketball. Come on, that's athleticism. So, as much as a lot of folks like the dead ball era, these shortstops. Do you remember Eddie Wade, past GM of the Fields? You were talking about not Eddie Wade. I went to grammar school with him in Carbondale. No, you're talking about it's not Eddie Wade. It's a Wade. Yeah, Ed Wade. Was that his name? Ed Wade? Yeah, I guess so. Well, I guess his name was Ed Wade. What he the GM of the Astros, and then he came to the Phillies. Carbondale, PA. I was born and raised in Carbondale, near Scranton. Okay. Yeah. Okay, Ed Wade. Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. That's cool. And like I say, I just was talking about this kid here, Juan Thornhill. Congrats, Juan. Kansas City Chiefs, Super Bowl 54 champ, AL high school area grad. I also went to What's Up, Spider Kid. I also believe that today's players are way better. If the older guys had today's training and methods, they'd be good too. Yeah, I agree. I mean, they have, nutritionists, they have everything going for them now. But they don't let them, they don't let them go out here. Yeah. I'll tell you some more. You guys know of a person. Obviously, Tom Brady has 6 rings. Well, there's one out there that has 5 rings. And he played for 2 different football teams. He played for the 49ers and he played for the Cowboys. Does anybody remember who the guy was that won 5 rings? He played on the defensive front. If what's his name was in here, he would know. Sean. You got it. He only lives down the road. He only lives down the road, maybe 20 miles from me. He went to James Madison University, and I actually he went to high school. He graduated a couple of years before I did. He went to high school in the same conference that we play football back in the day. And we still play that. We still play his team now. They're still pretty good. But Charles Haley, you got it. Yep, Charles Haley. And then let's see, 2 years behind me or 1 year behind? 2 years behind me. Yeah, because he played ball. He played ball and then transferred. So he played on my senior team and actually took shortstop from me. I played shortstop. I started playing second base. He started playing shortstop. And he played in the 2000 World Series. Was 2000 for Arizona. Now he didn't play. He didn't play shortstop. He didn't play shortstop. Played against the Yankees though, and I think he played second base, but he ended up bumping me from shortstop over to second when I was playing high school, and he actually wasn't that great a hitter in high school, but Lord have mercy, he could run. I mean, he never would play track, but he could run like a lightning. And then the year after speaking of Thornhill, he was getting better each week, really worked well. Tyrann Mathieu, I think he has a – yeah, they say Thornhill does. They were talking about him on the radio earlier tonight, and they were talking about Juan even may be at a basketball game over there tonight. So I don't know. Does anybody know who I'm talking about as far as playing high school baseball with me? He was a little bitty runt, little bitty guy, and he talked real funny, and he was like, he was always like, Rob, man, you got to cover the base this time. Rob, you got to cover the base this time. And if you didn't listen to him real close, you couldn't understand what he said. And batted left-handed. He played for the Arizona Diamondbacks. Oh, God, he played a lot of places. I mean, he played with the Pirates first. He came in playing with the Pirates, I'm pretty sure. He went to the Yankees. Oh, my gosh. He probably played 8 different places. That's probably a little bit harder. I think maybe he scored the winning run for the World Series to help them beat the Yankees. I think now. I'm not sure. I know somebody else got to the hit over second base or whatever, over shortstop. But I think he was the one that scored the run that ended up winning the World Series for him. I think. Terry Pagula, owner of the Bills, is from Carbondale. Oh, he was a year older than me. He went to a different grammar school. Wow, really? That's pretty cool. Does anybody have any idea who I'm talking about? Little Anthony, Tony Womack. Tony Womack. And then after his freshman year, no, he was a sophomore. He was a sophomore, and I was a senior. He ended up transferring to another school. I was like, really? Couldn't you have left before you did that to me? But that was pretty funny because he played there, and I think even before the season was out, he was going to a different school. He wanted to play with a little bit. Yeah. He was a good guy. But he talked real funny. Sitting in the dugout, he would talk real funny though. He never had nothing to say to too many people, and I always understood that his mom would come watch him. I think his dad was working all the time, and his mom would come watch him. She had nothing to say. She was always quiet, and Tony just did his thing, man. Probably one of the best workers we had out there as far as would just. You didn't have to pull a logging chain. Say, Tony, do it 50 times. They had to do it with me a bunch of times because I'd get out there and have fun. But you knew he was special because the way, I mean, like I say, he was a short guy, but they would have us running the bases, and I mean, he could run the bases like a second and a half quicker than anybody. He was just flying. I mean, he could be at home plate where the next fastest guy on the team would be two steps past third. That's it. I mean, that's how much faster he was, and he was just an all around good athlete. He really was. But yeah, I played with him for a short time, very very short time. Uh, Nobody else really. I can't recall playing with anybody else. We didn't have a soccer team, and at the time, I would have been great at soccer because when I graduated high school, well, right now I'm 6'4" and I weigh 245. When I graduated high school, I was 5'7", 135. 5'7", 135. I grew, what's that, 8 inches? Something like that. No, more than that. 9 inches, I guess. And 100 some pounds too, though. Yeah. So yeah, it's wild just thinking about it. Just going back, and we got our 35th reunion coming up, and I don't know whether I still haven't decided whether I'm going or not. But 5'9", 130, I was a little bitty. I was. Me and one of the other guys that I actually talk to on my phone regular. He hasn't grown an inch. He's probably 5'8", probably weighs 135 now, and 5'7" maybe. He and I were about the same size in high school. He probably was a little bit littler than I was, but I mean, it was so funny that I saw him just a few weeks ago. He's got all white hair now. His all his hair is white, and we were talking for a little while, and he was not able to play high school baseball with me. He had uh, what do you call it when you have like a curvature in your huh? Scoliosis. Scoliosis. Yeah. His back. He actually had a board spine. Yeah. He actually had a board that he would wear under his shirt just to be able to keep his spine straight. And he had a hard time just carrying his weight. And he was so little. Uh, but he and we were raised together, played baseball all together, all the time, and we saw each other the other day, and I don't know, we may end up. Funny thing is, I was 5'8" in eighth grade, grew 1 inch. I'm 5'9", 150 now. Oh, really, Brian? They said my granddaddy was like 6'5" on my mom's side, and I was a runt in the family. And when I say that now, I had a brother 2 years younger than me, and then I had one that was 7.5 years younger than me, something like that. The one in fifth grade wasn't that much smaller than me. Now he's bigger than me. Now he's about 6'5", and probably weighs 275. That's my youngest brother. Yeah. And then one that was bigger than me in school, he's probably 5'10", probably weighs 170, 175 at the most. But yeah, when when I was I wasn't 6 foot tall probably until I was 21 years old. I didn't quit growing until I was probably 25. I was growing. I grew all the time. Yeah, it was wild. You guys, the golf is going to get put up tonight, I think. I'm pretty sure I'm going to do that. This baseball is going to be next. I'm trying to come up with a good wrestling card you guys would like to see. I've got Hacksaw Jim Duggan as my TV champion. We got to see who we Duggan to fight or to wrestle. And, whatever kind of match you want to see. I kind of want to have a brothers match. Lanny Poffo and Randy Savage against um, Jacob Snake Roberts and Sam Houston. I think that'd be pretty cool. So maybe we'll do that, and maybe the winning team will get to wrestle. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see who. Um, I'm still trying to get some more wrestlers, so I'm still in the process of ordering some here and there. And I'm telling you, if you want to see every wrestler ever created almost in that set, you got to go to Dave Little's channel. Dave, Lord have mercy, I didn't realize he'd had his channel going as long as he's had it. But I mean, I can go back and watch some stuff 3 and 4 years ago, and he's got wrestlers that I still don't have. And I'm just in the process of trying to get more and more and more and more. I like a lot of the old NWA wrestlers, a lot of the old championship from Florida wrestlers, the world-class championship wrestlers, the Von Erichs, some of those guys. I like some of them. Maybe some of the AWA wrestlers, Nick Bockwinkel, some of those guys. Maybe a Greg Gagne. I don't think I have him. I don't think I do. But as far as WWE guys, I'm sort of burned down on that deal. Bruno Sammartino and the Beast from Sicily. I've got Bruno. I got Bruno Sammartino. I like it. He like my wrestling shows. I have a Superstar Wrestling game, but I haven't played it in. Oh, really, Brian? Yeah. Blasphemy Past. Kevin Sullivan probably was one of my sole favorites, just due to the fact that if you watched him in Championship Wrestling from Florida, and it had a little X right here, and paint around a couple of places there, just look wild, and then all of a sudden one day, he said he was, a spirit was coming to him or whatever, and they sent him. He was in Orlando, and they sent him to Tampa, to the Gulf Coast, and they were bringing in the Purple Haze, Mark Lewin. They were bringing him into the area. So what they did, they had him stand out there. They said the water was cold too, as in the wintertime. But right there, Tampa, St. Pete area, in the bay, they had him out there far enough. It had the camera angle to where it looked like you couldn't even see who was out there. And he had the water up to about right here. And so you could walk a long ways. In the ocean, you can walk a long ways before it gets that deep. So anyway, they cut the film on, and Kevin's like, "Okay, bring him on, bring him on." I've been waiting for the spirit or whatever and all this. And the next thing you know, he's coming through the water here, and he's acting like it's something been brought to him or whatever. Then immediately, Bill Apter for Pro Wrestling Illustrated wrote something on there about Kevin Sullivan and the devil. And Kevin, to this day, still says, "I never brought the word devil or hell into it unless he said something about we're gonna fight until there's a living hell, whatever, I won't beat the living hell out of you," or something like that. But other than that, he said, "I never brought the word devil into it. Never brought the word God into it." And just his actions was enough to where that right there was gold for me. Kevin Sullivan was just very, very cool. I liked him. He had Woman, who was his wife. No, he died. Yeah, he died last year. Harley Race. He was fun to watch. There was a few of them that was really, really fun to watch. There's still a champion from the AWA I still like to watch. I'll go back and watch his videos any day of the week, and that's Stan Hansen. Oh my Lord, Stan Hansen. Number one, he was a nearsighted man. Bob Backlund. the Rooster. Yeah, he wasn't he couldn't sell a lot for me. Backlund couldn't, but but was it? I think Ivan Koloff ended up beating him. I think. I think was it Koloff? Maybe not. Koloff ended up beating one of them anyway and made him give up. That might have been Iron Sheik that beat him. I don't forgot. But one of those two got beat by him. But they said that Stan Hansen was real nearsighted, and he was wrestling. He was wrestling the Wyndham kid, Kendall Wyndham, and that's Blackjack Mulligan's son, his youngest son. What's up, B.R. Wells? The power's back on. Yes. B.R. Wells is about an hour east of me. And he told me he's losing the power. So he got in touch with me early this morning. The wind's letting up a little bit outside now. It's trying to anyway. But Stan Hansen didn't tell Kendall Wyndham that I can't see from a long ways away. And he caught him with one of those lariats, right? And when he did, he was wearing like a kind of like a knee brace, but an elbow brace that had like metal in it, right? He cut him wide open across the side of the face. And he was trying to do like tie it up, wrap it up now, go on and pin me or whatever. And he kept kicking him in the head, and he's bleeding down the side of his face because he then caught that brace and then cut the crap out of his face. And what they did, they ended up changing the angle on it a little bit. And they were like, okay, he loaded the loaded elbow thing or whatever. What happened was he didn't see that he told him to wrap it up. So immediately in the back, Eddie Graham sent Blackjack and Barry. So Barry Windham was his brother, and Blackjack Mulligan was his dad, out there to attack him. Okay, and like, okay, you pulled some dirty stuff out of your arm, and all it was just inside the pad. And he had like an elbow brace because he had some surgery on his elbow too, and it's what it does. It just cut him across there, and the next thing you know, they ended up turning in an angle and talking about the loaded elbow, the loaded pad and all that. It was gold. I mean, they had apple, mushed up apples, and instead of just throwing them away, they made applesauce out of it. And that's what they do. And nowadays, somebody gets hurt or something like that, the next thing you know, four or five different TV sources are telling us, they screwed up and didn't know what to do. Number one, they're scared what the network's going to say, and number two, they're scared what the owner's going to say. If you're in the WWE, they're always scared of what Vince McMahon's going to tell them. You cannot be scared like that. But they say Tony Khan's a pretty good guy to work for AEW. The problem is it's too cartoony for me. I mean, you got these little guys out there, the runts and stunts or whatever, Jungle Boy or whatever. He's like 5'1", weighs 108 pounds. Come on. One of them's a son of 90210's. What's his name? Damn. The one that died. Luke Perry's boy. Jungle Boy. And he's about 5. I'm serious. He's about 5'6". He weighs about 110. And I'm like, okay, why do you even have him wrestling? And then they got one guy even littler than him, Marco Stunt or something. I'm like, I just can't take that serious. I just cannot take that seriously. And I really, really was hoping that they were going to have a real good wrestling show. The best wrestling. Did you pick your next baseball pro? I did, B.R. Wells, and I'm having it voted on. What we're doing, or whoever's going to watch, NPNG. So it's National Pastime Next Generation Plus, and you can find it on if you Google it. It's absolutely free. So if you just go to Google and just put NPNG and then a plus sign, and you click it, it's got every season from 1895 to 2019. Absolutely free. You don't have to pay anything for it. Now, the catch is you're going to have to pay to get it printed. Okay. You'll have to pay to get it printed. And after that, you're going to have to cut the cards out. So I have a 2018 set. So what do I want to do? I want to play one of the Cy Young Award winners. And I don't care which one. Blake Snell, he was a Cy Young Award winner, 21-5, earned an average 189 from Tampa. Or Jacob deGrom, he went 10-9. Yep, works for 2 dice. 170. So I'm going to play one of those 2 guys, and I'm going to play all of their starts for the whole season. So now I'm not limited on innings. So if they end up getting 280 innings, whatever, so be it. But if they're able to finish a game and keep their run average down, DeGrom gets your vote. Okay. All right. So that's cool. And that's what I want. I want everybody's vote on it. I'll start it probably Sunday or Monday. I'm picking up my golf for a month, and I've got my final 16 right here. My final 16 golf right here, and Brandt Snedeker has the lead now, 9 under. Matsuyama 8 under. Fleetwood, he actually had the lead in Saturday, but he shot a 5 over. So now he's 5 under. He was 10 under. And then Patrick Cantlay at 4 under. Connors 4 under. Jordan Spieth, unbelievable. He was 2 over, starting the back 9, and ended up shooting 5 under on the back Saturday. So he ended up making the cut, not only making the page, most of the way up there, 3 under. Mark Leishman, Matt Kuchar, 3 under. Then Nate Lashley, John Rahm, Fitzpatrick, Kang, all at 1 under. And then I got all my even golfers. So they're 9 back. Patrick Reed, Terrell Hatton, Xander Schauffele, and Dustin Johnson. I've got a leaderboard right there. Do you remember a guy? I think his name was Freddie Blassie. Freddie Blassie, not Freddie de Blasio. Freddie Blassie, classy Freddie Blassie. Anthony has been doing the Fergie Jenkins replay on his channel. It is, yep. I just never been a Cubs fan, so I would not do a Cubs replay. I don't like. But the guy you're talking about, Brian, is classy Freddie Blassie. But yeah, I've watched it. He's doing his with Inside Pitch, okay, and then me and Philip Reynolds, we have our little bet going, and the loser will lose a little small amount of money, not a lot, but it would be enough to buy the payoff pitch game. And that's what I'm looking to get next. That's what my next project I think is going to be, is payoff pitch. Unless, yes, they have a legend set. Yep, they do. They call it. I don't know if they call it legends or not. But you just go to play.com and find out everything they got for sale. Yeah. But depending on my circumstances, whether That's all right. Depending on my circumstances, whether I'm going to switch over to some games or stay with the same name brand I'm playing right now. Okay, so we'll see. Um, I'm sure they can talk me into staying with History Maker Golf, Soccer Blast. Uh, I would definitely like to acquire a Hockey Blast game. I think that'd be good. Um, I've heard of a couple people play the roller derby. I might would get that. I don't know yet. I don't know if roller derby would be for me. Um, Cold snap, Canadian football. Um, I know a couple of people have it and they enjoy it. Um, I I have to really would have to look at very intently. But you guys know how I feel about my History Maker Golf. Actually, and I'm not gonna lie to you. That's actually my favorite game from Play.com I've played yet. That's including Red, White, and Blue Racing. I actually like your golf better, but Red, White, and Blue Racing draws a crowd. I mentioned yesterday or earlier, I guess it was last night. I mentioned that season 3 may have a North or may have an American League and a National League. Um, yeah, Masters. I'm going to put it away for about a month now, though, Brian. I'm going to play it in March. What's up, Sean? But I'm seriously considering if we get enough people, interested, I've already got 40. Okay, I've already got 40 people. Love payoff pitch, especially the fast action cards. I've used the fast action cards with Atma, my own charts, but not on my channel. Really, I'm not gonna lie to anybody. I like dice better than I do fast action cards because if I roll, and you've got to check out a couple of days ago my golf. One guy had a birdie putt or whatever and missed it. So then I had 2 dice in my hand. I said the only way he misses this is with a 66. 66. So then I had a gimme putt, 3 dice. The only way he misses this is a 6, and a 6. 6, 6, and a 6. Unfriggin' believable. Only me. It only comes out of my hands. It is crazy. I mean, it's uh yeah. But I actually had a gimme putt with 3 dice, 666 behind a 66. And I'm like, how in the world does that happen? That takes golfers out of contention. But hey, that's the rules. That's the rules. But I mean, what are the odds that if you have 5 dice and you roll 2 of them 6 6, that the next 3 are going to be 6 6 6? I mean, hell, you could probably try it all day long and couldn't do it. And I'm just sitting there playing. And I'm like, oh dear Lord, and people watching it was like, only you, Rob, only you. It was pretty wild. Um, it's pretty funny, but hey, it's been happening, and it tore up some of the guys' rounds, but it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I like that. Um, if you haven't really checked out, um, if you haven't really checked out, um, um, History Maker Golf, there's so many titles that they can have, so many more than they can with racing. Racing is star and control and stuff like that, all that type of stuff. But if you're a really, really, really good golfer, man, you can have yourself a list of really good items that you're able to do, and you are going to be tough to beat. Legend, champion, hero, all that type stuff, and then they rate them. 4A, and top one's a 1A. So yeah, and I've got sets. Here's the 2000 stars. And let's see who was a big fish in the sea then. Lee Westwood, he was big then, and that's been a few years ago. Fred Funk, Jim Furyk, legend, king, champion, hero, master. I mean, it's got all those things right there. You see, what's up, Double D? So you're just given more and more as far as talents. If you can do certain things with the golf ball, if you can turn the golf ball over left to right, right to left, uh, do different things with it. And 25 years ago, I could hit it. I mean, if you told me, okay, there's a tree right in front of you, I could ask you, say, look, you want me to slice it around or you want me to hook it around? And I can do that. With my elbow the way it is now, I'm more limited, and I can't go with full swings as good. And I slice more stuff than I used to hook, where I used to could hook it really well. Double D just getting home from work. It's awesome. Those of you that haven't voted yet, and I guess Sean hasn't voted, Double D hasn't voted. My next project is going to be the NPNG, so it's National Pastime Next Generation Plus Baseball. What's up, Danny and Grays? And I'm going to do a whole season of one of the Cy Young Award winners, 2018, whether it's Blake Snell of the Tampa Rays. He won 21 and lost 5 with a 189 earned run average. Or Jacob deGrom of the Mets, 110 and lost 9 with a 170 earned run average. And I'm gonna run with whichever one you guys would rather see, and I'm gonna go and just play every start that deGrom started, whether it's at home or in Atlanta, at home, in Philadelphia, at LA, wherever. So you're going to see an allotment of teams. You may even see them with the DH, even with deGrom. But with Snell, you will see the DH most of the time. And so you can only vote one time whether you want to see Snell's replay or deGrom's replay. And I'm probably going to get that started next couple of 3 days. Tomorrow, we may be out of town in the morning. Just bought Dale Jr.'s 2020 Homestead diecast today. I'm excited. Oh, yeah. UNC. Sean likes to give me a hard time. He knows I'm a Duke fan. I'm a Duke fan, all right, basketball. Yeah, we may go to a sale tomorrow, and may not be here in the morning time. But yeah, that is pretty cool. And yeah, really, Duke fan, yeah. I've followed Duke back in the early '80s. Danny Ferry, he covers basketball for ESPN. He actually became a lawyer. Danny Ferry, Duke is puke. He became a lawyer, and he was on that team. He was on one of the teams I like to watch. National League guy, deGrom for you, Double D. All right, I got you. All right. It will be interesting if I do the deGrom one. He only won 10 games. Can he win more than 10? Even if his earned run average is double, even if his earned run average is 3. Sean says deGrom as well. Okay. I'll keep the voting going for a couple more days. So right now it's 5-2 deGrom over Snell. Yeah, I think he can win more than 10 games, but then you got to think about it. The 2018 Mets were not right. They didn't have any run support at all much for them, and they're going to be playing the Phillies and the Braves and the Nats a lot. Of course, they'll get to play Miami Marlins too. And Danny and Gray and Sean will be the Carolina Blue guys, then I guess. Yeah. I used to like NC State when they had Valvano, Wittenberg, and all those guys. They were a good team. They were good. They won the national championship over was it Georgetown or Houston? I forgot who they beat. One of those two teams, but they were underdogs and they ran through them. They were good. They were real good. Um, let's see. Pitchers and catchers report next week. That's an awesome deal, I think. Still no word yet. Um, was it Houston? Okay. Um, and still no word yet on the Chris Bryant front. I haven't heard it anyway. It may be something, but I have heard nothing. Um, Arenado, I'm hearing that they're trying to iron out things with Tampa. If they do that, Arenado only he has to say it's good though. Binghamton Bearcats. You guys got to see my Bearcat. You've seen them before. My Bearcat, Rufus. Yeah, the Mets trade's on hold just because of one of the players, one of the pitchers for who Boston's getting. Ohio University, though. Yeah, Ohio University. Rufus. And a good friend on the channel sent this to me. And is Tampa playing half the season in Montreal? I didn't know if they were or not. John Andretti's last lap in Indy was an amazing tribute. I saw where Jeff Burton's wife went on to Twitter. I met John a bunch of times. I've got a lot of stuff autographed by John. He represented Petty Motorsports probably better than anybody that's ever driven for him. And I'm including Bobby Hamilton, who else? Bobby Labonte, Bubba Wallace. Binghamton colors is white and green also. How about yeah. I saw that when I was trying to find you Binghamton's Bobcat, but no, I couldn't find it for you. I don't see Stacy very much no more. Stacy hides out, and he's got a huge place. He has got a big place. If you ever come over this way, I can kind of show you where he lives. He works out of town too. He works back in Richmond. But I can tell you a lot about him if I see you. Okay. Some stuff I don't want to say it online because it's some negative about it too. So I will tell you more about it if I ever see you. But he doesn't live far from me at all. He lives very close to a guy that used to sing country music, Ricky Van Shelton. I don't know if you ever heard of him. He sang back in the 80s. But he lives over in the same area that he does. And Ricky's got a bunch of land too, but not near as much as Stacy's got. Stacy's got, I mean, he owns the whole side of the river. And he's got a big mansion and stuff. He's probably got a couple 300 acres. Yeah, Ricky Van, but he doesn't. Yeah, he went to Gretna High School, but yeah, but he lives back over Hurt over in that area, Grit, Renan, back in that area. Yeah. I've never met him. I've met Ricky's mom. Oh yeah. Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot of folks that I want to find an old picture. My dad used to run a bar just down the street, and it was a type when you pulled up, it was curb service. So my dad could go out, dad, my mom, whoever, my grandma would go out and take orders and then hang it on, hang the tray on the window. But you could also, if you wanted to go inside, you could go inside and drink a beer. Yeah, I know it. Stacy's hard to find it. And he had gas pumps, right? Oh, B.R. Wells. Oh, he used to come all back in this way. Okay. And they had wrestling up at Lynchburg Armory one night. And this guy came in there, 70, I was kindergarten, so it's like 73, 74. And he came in there, and my uncle said, look. And I said, huh? He said, he wrestles. And I said, he does? He said, yeah. And he had brownish color hair. You'll never guess it. You ever go down to Stoneville? No, not Stoneville. He said, yeah, his name's Ric Flair. Brownish color hair. He's a chubby guy. So 72 or 73, something like that. But he came to the bar, and actually all he did stop, get gas, and gave him a 6-pack rolled on. So it was pretty cool. That's just down the street here, and I think we still have a video, a photo of it somewhere standing inside that bar. Now I don't think my picture is with him because I was so little, but yeah, he came by, and then a few weeks later, I didn't see these guys, but it was some guys who used to tag team wrestle. Swede Hansen and Rip Hawk. I never met those guys, but my dad said that they came by they're all, pretty often. And that was pretty good. Flair, as you know, in 75, kind of down where B.R. Wells lives, maybe a little ways down from where B.R. Wells lives, was in a plane crash. And he broke his back. The pilot died. It was 5 of them in the plane, but 2 of them died. Jim Crockett Jr. or David Crockett. He was one announced a lot. He was in the airplane along with Mr. Wrestling number 2. Tim Woods. I think it was his name, Tim Woods. Jimmy Hensley lives in Ridgeway, like 10 miles. Oh, yeah, Jimmy Hensley, the gentleman. Always had like bags. I got some good pictures, man. Jimmy was a good guy. Oh, yeah. Jimmy never got to. He was a good truck driver. He won a lot in the trucks, but in the Cup Series, he just didn't have what they took. Horse pasture, Virginia, right? Yeah, somewhere like that. It's right there. It's real close to Martinsville. Yeah. So I know that area real well. But yeah, racing. I was watching racing from a time. Yeah. I was watching racing from a time I was a little boy, and I got to go to South Boston Speedway a lot. I got to go to Franklin County Speedway a lot. I got to go to Martinsville Speedway a lot. I got to go to North Wilkesboro Speedway some. Orange County Speedway I got to go to. Wow. 17 years old, working a part-time job as a kid in Richmond. Sold gas to Ivan Koloff, had Tully Blanchard with him. Really? I used to go to all those racetracks a lot when I was younger. And by the time I had my permit, it was like, it's on now. It's on now. Debbie's Best Biscuit, Stoneville, North Carolina. I'll have to tell them you sent me down there if I go down that way. Um, I was actually thinking about going down to Martinsville tonight, but we kind of decided not to. We knew there was a chance of some snow and stuff, but I don't know. We're still wide open on some things going on. I'm still hoping that Ken Castro would come in here. Ken, place is called Debbie's. Okay. Ken is considering, I don't know, swapping jobs, but maybe taking over as beat reporter for the modified series of New England or the Mid Atlantic New England series or something like that for racing. And March 20th, 21st, and 22nd, somewhere along in there, it's at Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. They're going to be down at South Boston Speedway in Virginia, South Boston, Virginia. And I've already told Ken, I said, look, you're invited to come down here, stay at my house 2 or 3 nights if you want to. So I'm just awaiting the word of Ken Castro making his run down to Virginia. And we're going to teach him the word y'all. Y-A-L-L, y'all. We'll teach him that. Tomorrow, let's see, what's going on tomorrow? The Premier League, if you are a soccer fan, don't forget NBC Sports Network, NBCSN, starts about 8 o'clock a.m., 7:30, something like that. And we'll have 2 or 3 games on there. The European League. MLS starts in 2 weeks. Yeah. MLS starts in 2 weeks. So I've got to get Ken back in here, and I got to get D. Scott Howard in here. Sweet tea. No, you know what? I'm not a big sweet tea drinker. I'm really not. I'm not a big sweet tea drinker. Man U has a bye this weekend. Okay. I haven't even looked. Most of the time, if they've been playing with different cup series, playing for different types of cups, a lot of times they end up getting a weekend off. So we'll see who's playing tomorrow. Generally, Man City's playing on Sunday just because they're the defending champion. They'll play 9, 10, 11, 12 o'clock on Sunday afternoon. Don't forget, 2 days still of the Pebble Beach, AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am. That's actually a fun tournament to watch. You'll get to see the 2 Manning brothers. You'll get to see Tony Romo. You'll get to see, oh, Lord, so many good golfers. The leader today was a lady that works for the PGA Tour. She was the amateur for somebody. Extreme Fail League, starts tomorrow. I won't watch that. He's talking about the XFL. WWE's football with where you can throw forward, backwards, any kind of way you want to. It doesn't matter. So that should be interesting to watch. Point after touchdown, you can go for 1 point, 2 point, or 3 points. So it's going to be wild. But I think I'll skip on that. I actually start my 2020 NASCAR season prelude clash tomorrow night on NASCAR Heat. I'm racing in Bubba Wallace's car this year. Okay, yeah. I watch a lot of iRacing. I love to watch iRacing where people go racing, people all around the country and around the world. I was seriously considering doing that rather than having a YouTube channel with sports board gaming. But I took into consideration the money, and I knew we were probably talking $2,500 to $3,000 start fee to really do iRacing. And I had to have top line equipment as far as computer, pedals, steering wheel, everything. Soccer Blast, difficult to learn. Don't know much about soccer. No, not very difficult at all. Nope. That's a very fun game too. So I'm going to get that back out very soon too. NPNG Plus now is what I'm going to be looking at for the next few weeks, probably next 3-4 weeks. And like I say, I got to find it almost because I got so much stuff on top of it in there. And depending on which team, whether I've got to find the Mets or find the Rays, I'm going to go with that. What else was I going to talk about? Who do I say wins the poll for the 500? Most times Chevrolets are real fast down there, and then when you turn them loose, Toyotas run fast. So probably, hey, you know what? Those Fords are good too. 10 Almirola. I'll say Almirola wins it. I don't know. We'll see. I haven't even seen preseason practice. Seen none of the practice so far. Another channel that I follow, you guys might want to check this guy out, Cletus McFarland. Has anybody ever heard of Cletus McFarland? He and a group of friends, he's only 24 years old, decided that they were going to buy a speedway. And it was a speedway, got grass and stuff growing through the track. They're getting lights fixed. They've got, they got everything going on right now. And he made an announcement tonight that in 2 months' time, they're going to have a pay-per-view on YouTube where you have to pay I think it's $9.95 or $10 to watch 100 laps. They're going to go get, they're crazy, 20 or 25 Crown Victoria old police cars. And they're going to fix them all up even, and they're going to put different numbers on them, and they're going to let different YouTube personalities come down and race them. And they're not going to allow anybody in the crowd in the stands right now because stands are not ready for people yet. It's going to be an empty stand race, 100 laps. You can bump people out the way. You can move them out the way. Nothing's illegal. So the chrome horn's fine. You can bump them. It's almost like Demolition Derby and trying to just be the first one to get 100 laps in. And it was the old DeSoto Speedway, and it's down right there below Tampa St. Pete. It's on the west side of Florida, down below Tampa and St. Pete, kind of in the middle of nowhere. And so I'm seriously considering. He was talking about having somebody call the race for him. And I do not want to call a race from 1,000 miles away, but I would love to go down there and actually call the race. So I may get in touch with his channel, see if he would allow me to do it. If he does, I may carry it, the same pay-per-view on my channel if he allows that. He may just carry it on his channel. And but it's you got to go check him out. I mean, this guy's nuts, man. He was actually studying to be a lawyer, and he dropped out of school, and he's from Kansas, Missouri, somewhere like that in that area, Oklahoma. He moved down to Florida with some friends, and they just up and bought the DeSoto Raceway, and they call it Freedom. What does he call it? Freedom, not Freedom Fairgrounds. What does he call it, Danny? Freedom. It's not called Freedom Raceway or Freedom Speedway, but it's something like that. He took the total name of the place and just changed it to what he wants to call it. They've been getting coverage all, from local news outlets have been coming out to the speedway. He's got lights up, man. I mean, his lights are working. Uh, so they've been yeah, that's right. He bought it was actually from Richard Childress's shop. Richard Childress sold it. It was Dale Earnhardt Sr. lookalike truck, but it was actually one driven by damn, what was the guy's name that drove it? Oh, oh man, I'll think of his name in a minute. Sauter, Sauter. Um, what was his Sauter kid's name? No, not Mike Skinner. Sauter. Sauter drove it. Jay Sauter. Jay Sauter. He um, he drove it, and then he bought it. He bought it. No, Jay Sauter drove that. Mm-mm. Because he drove it. Um, Skinner was going to drive it, and then he went to the 31 car, and then Jay Sauter drove it. This was like 97, 98, something like that. And that's when Skinner was brought up to drive a 31 Lowe's car. I think it was Lowe's. Yeah. Little did we know Lowe's was going to end up being a championship car, but not back then. But yeah, Jay Sauter drove it. Actually, I saw him drive it. Yeah, I saw Jay Sauter drive it down in South Boston. I used to go when the Truck Series started, what 95, 96. I used to go to a bunch of their races, man, and it was so much fun. It was a lot of fun to do. But yeah, and then they bought that race. And then he got in trouble because he had four bald tires, and they were driving around in the middle of that town down there. And yeah, Skinner in the blue and yellows. Yeah, you got it. Um, but he drove that three truck through the town. It won't 2 miles away from the speedway, and they ended up giving him what $500 ticket or something, $400 ticket, 100 for each tire, I think. So it may have been $400. But he ended up getting a ticket for it. But Cletus McFarland, you got to check his channel out. It is so funny, and they like to. They got a figure eight racetrack there. Uh, yeah, it's fun. So I may get in touch with his channel. If I do, I will seriously get in there and announce a race. They talking like that they would make it pay-per-view the day of the event, and they wouldn't release it to. They're not going to release it to YouTube for a month. So it'd be a month later before you'd be able to watch it if you don't pay the $9.95 or whatever it is. And I think through PayPal is the only way you can do it. And he's got a following. He got a following, a big following. So if they get as many people to pay to watch it, like I say, I'll go in there and tell him, look, if you want somebody to cover, I'll just come down there and wear a big shirt that says ROB, little space, and then exclamation point. And I would do that. I would definitely. And I'm thinking about even getting me some hats that says Rob on it, like that with exclamation point. It should be fun. It should be fun. Um, we'll see what happens. I can understand fully if he says, well, I don't know you and I know somebody else who can call the race for me, no problem. But if he'll look at my channel and kind of, you know, I get excited sometimes, but not too much. So I would probably be laid back about it and be like, hey, look, these guys are killing each other, or they're beating the hell out of each other, or whatever. So, and we have a little bit of leeway being in its own YouTube rather than television. So a YouTube pay-per-view, one, you see and hear everything now, and but he just mentioned it tonight. It was just an idea. Crown Victorias, 20 or 25 of them All of them YouTube people racing each other for real. Then, can you imagine the red, white, and blue guys, the people that would want to do that on red, white, and blue racing, if they saw it? That would pick up some steam, I believe, and people would be like, "Yep, we got to do that." Real tired since I had to shovel snow. I can understand that, Brian. Man, oh man, shoveling snow is a bitch. God bless, man. Have a great, great evening. I'm gonna let you guys go as well. I know. I've been holding everybody up all night long, hour and a half into it. Yeah. If you haven't voted yet, just vote Blake Snell, Jacob deGrom. Whoever gets the most votes I will end up doing the replay of all their starts 2018. Roughly, I think one of them started 29 and the other one started 31, maybe something like that. Give us a preview, Rob. Come on before you go. Preview of. What do you need a preview of? I don't have my baseball handy right here. I don't have my baseball stuff handy. Give you a preview of that. Check it out. Yeah, all kinds of stuff around here. And like I say, I got my Bobcat Rufus, and he is Ohio University's own. Calling the race for him. All right. 5 laps to go. We're here at Daytona International. Oh, let's see. Well, I can do better than that. Okay, folks. They are coming around the back stretch and coming into turn 3, and it looks like the pace car may be coming in. And the final race here at North Carolina Motor Speedway, Rockingham, and they're back off. Restart has started. Dale Earnhardt Jr. is on the inside. Kyle Petty's on the outside. Petty and Earnhardt Jr. go around turn 2, sliding sideways, and that 42 car is running sideways and gets a fender out in front. Handsome Harry again is right on Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s bumper, and Dale Earnhardt Sr. is right on his bumper as they come into turn 3. Exiting turn 3, little sideways that 8 car goes, and 42 gets a half a car lead and 4 laps to go. They come back through. They're going by around turn 1, and look, Brett Bodine has stepped up top 5, and Dale Earnhardt Jr. slips a little more sideways, and he is now falling back to 3rd place as Harry Gant will take 2nd from Dale Jr. going down the backstretch. 3.5 laps to go, and they're going into turn 3, and Kyle Petty's looking more and more strong and more strong. He's 4 car lengths in front as he's coming out of turn 4. 3 laps to go, folks. Kyle Petty comes in, and he stretched 6 car length lead, but Harry Gant is trying up on the high side. High side, what is it called? High side and handsome. Harry Gant coming out of turn 2, and Dale Jr. now will step in 3rd, but Dale Sr. puts a little bumper to him. The chrome horn slides him up to the top of the wall into turn 3, and Dale Sr. comes around, and this time by 2 laps will be gone. Dale Sr. comes in 3rd place right now, and Harry Gant has cut down Kyle Petty's lead to 2.5 car lengths. Coming out of turn 2, 42 slides a little sideways. 33 of the Bandit is coming up beside him now on the inside, and he's going to try to make a move going into turn 3. And they are door to door, and they're coming out of turn 4. We're going to see the white flag this time, folks. 33 and 42 bumper. I mean, they are against each other, and here comes the number 3. Number 3 is coming down, and he's going to try to make it 3 wide coming into turn 1. He bumps the 33 into the 42. 42 hits a wall. 33 keeps going, and it's now 33, 3 and 8. 42 is falling back to 4th place. They're coming down to the last turns. They're coming into turn 3. Harry Gant sideways and still going. And they're coming out of turn 4. 3 is going to come down into the inside, and it's 33 by about 4 bumper lengths. Let's give him 4.5 feet. and handsome Harry Gant wins. Dale Earnhardt Sr. comes in second, Dale Jr. third, and Kyle Petty, his car is a little bit crushed in the side panel, but the mellow yellow can comes by fourth. If it was for real, I probably could do it a little bit better anyway. But yeah, I don't know. And if they're bumping it, if they're bumping each other and I don't know the guys, I'd have to go in and try and meet some of these guys first. But Cletus is going to actually get in one of the cars, and Cletus is a nut. And they're going to have numbers really put on there really well, even if they're magnetized numbers, But I've even heard that they're going to even have a scoreboard working. So they're going to even use things on the inside of the bumpers or inside of the fender wells to keep up with laps turning and stuff. They turn left and they turn left again and turn left again. Yep, you got it, Derek Dodges. Danny and me, we were born on oval track racing. I don't mind it. I don't mind it at all that they go into some more road courses. I like that pretty good. But there's so many good oval courses out there they could go to if they would just, be willing to spend the time to work on it. The one down at the Wilkesboro, North Wilkesboro, that was an awesome racetrack. Right at what 6.625. So was it 5/8 of a mile, something like that. It was just an awesome racetrack. A pretty flat track, but they would go 125, 130 around it. Pretty 115, 120, 125 pretty regularly. So it was always fun to watch. All right, guys, until I see you again, my name's Rob. Thank you so much for catching my channel. I hope I didn't bore you to death doing my little racing thing there. But Danny, I'd love to see Rockingham. Rockingham's ready to race because they repaved it and everything. They just they selling all the racetracks they can, and they want to own it all. So once they sell a racetrack, they're not going to go back there again. But Rockingham, I've been to Rockingham a bunch of times, and that's one of the most fun tracks to go to. Darlington is the most fun, but Rockingham is right there with it. So until I see you again, my name is Rob. Thanks so much for catching my channel. If you get a chance, vote on who you would like to see, whether it's the National League, Cy Young Award winner, or the American League Cy Young Award winner. And we'll do all the starts from 2018. We'll start it up early this week. I may do 2 or 3 a day. So I may have it done in 3 or 4 weeks. And then I'll get back to this golf. I know Brian Gorman wants to see golf. A couple other guys want to see golf. And we've got all Sunday that's going to be wound up with a lot of good golf. No doubt about that. Have a great one, folks. Be safe. It's a lot of ice out, especially on the East Coast. Be careful of it. A lot of wind as well. So God bless. Be safe. Be good to one another. And enjoy YouTube because it's a lot of stuff good on here to watch. And have fun doing it. God bless, guys.